So can you tell us your name, your zodiac sign, and your total number of makeouts?
Name, Akash Inti. I also go by Air, my initials. I am born May 28th, so I'm a Gemini. And what was the last one?
Total number of makeouts.
Like ever, or over the past like 24 hours? I mean, I haven't counted them, right? But like I said, like yesterday, like probably in the hundreds or so.
For sure. So what brought you out here?
Vegas, I mean, come on, what else, you know? Catching up with some of the guys though. Solid guy groups, right? It's important, so more than anything, really just like, we stay in touch all the time, catching up, you know?
What can you tell us about Vince?
I mean, where to start, right? There's so many things with him, right? Like everything from the look, the fashion and everything like that. But also like truly a marvelous like communicator, not only with women on the streets, but just overall, right? Relating to other people really, really well. That's one of the things I really enjoy about him. Don't get me wrong, the whole meeting new beautiful women is like, that's a very appealing aspect, right? But
how'd you get involved in the pickup artist community?
I read The Game, right? I remember seeing actually The Pickup Artist on VH1 when I was in like 7th or 8th grade. I just thought like being like a 7th or 8th grade boy, right? Like who's like, oh wow, look at these guys, they're like figuring this out. And being the nerd that I am, right? I'm like just super intellectual and all that stuff too. It's like, I wanted to like see like what's this stuff about, you know, so.
Can you break us down real quick, The Game? What are the key tenets of the game?
So this is actually really cool. So I was able to talk to Mystery. So he was like, if you guys know anything about like pickup artist history, he's been there throughout it all. But the whole purpose of the game, or like what the game was find the most interesting people and being able to like relate and communicate to them. That was the game. I think more than anything, it's just saying this is what's going on with me, right? Here's what's I'm feeling, here's what I'm doing, and I know adding a little bit of a little movie-likeness, you know, to it as well. Whether it be in the fashion, whether it be in the way that you move and communicate, whether it be just the way that you deliver and the way that you, your beingness, you know, that people are able to pick up on that. I mean, that's how we met earlier. She came by. That's how we met. It was just through this whole thing, right? So, wonderful. If I've learned anything from this whole art in and of itself, it's just understanding a person, right? Seeing like there's so much more than meets the eye. Like, yeah, the eye catches things, but how much does it really catch to some degree, you know? Check this out, when I was young, I was actually like I was a little kid who would like go out in like the grocery store and I would just say hi to everyone, you know? I was like, oh, hi, my name's Akash. And like something happened in like maybe like early kindergarten where it was just like an incident, like a private family incident happened where it was just like, don't do that anymore, right? So like part of this whole thing has really just been kind of reconnecting with that part of me, right? Because that's who I was as a little kid.
So did he pick you up last night?
So check this out, she's really, really cool, right? She just came across from the East Coast and she just came by herself, right? So to me, that takes like a lot of like, the person who's willing to be like, all right, I'm just open to whatever the world has to offer me, right? That's what a lot of this is, right? Is exploring the unknown and really seeing what's there, right? And what can you find? I mean, there's some scary moments to it. I mean, I know for myself, I'm sure for you last night, right? Like with the, I don't know, with some of the guys out there.
Crazy dude, it was wild. I was just chilling and all of a sudden they came at me. I was just like, what the hell?
Who are you talking about?
Huh?
Who are you talking? The twins?
The twins, yeah.
Hello, how you doing, huh? Why you standing around with a clown when you supposed to be fucking around with the twin now, huh? Hello. Twin done did it again. 6 black bitches in the pants. She bunked though, this bitch ugly as fuck. Where my necklace at, bitch?
Yeah, they were like right up in her face, and like, I mean, she had like the 4 of us were right around, and Vince was right there. It's like, how is she not intimidated, you know? But like,
Yeah.
that's it, right? That's the essence of it to me.
Right. So Akash, one thing you were saying is when you were younger, you experienced like some sort of trauma in your youth, right?
Yeah, I was like 5 or 6, yeah.
And it caused you to shut down?
Yeah.
For how long?
Man, like years, like really years, like all throughout, even I would say high school, like almost to like today, right? To some degree, right? It's like, I just really just started talking a lot less. I was more in my head. I wasn't really expressing myself all too much. It was just really, it just kind of shut down socially.
Do you feel like this community helped bring you out of that?
Definitely, that's what I was, definitely. This part of, this aspect of life, like men and women, that the relationships, it's so important, just like health, keeping healthy, and then making sure you got your money in order.
So would you say this is sort of therapeutic for you?
And to some degree, yeah, I definitely would, to some degree.
Would you describe yourself as a feminist?
Well, I don't know, how do you define the term, right? Or what definition of feminism are you using?
Just the colloquial definition.
Would you define that then, or? Because I want to be clear on a definition, right? It's like, That's one of the things that's so important to me, and I think it's
Yeah.
really important to be like, you want to talk about something, if I say, oh, yes or no or whatever, right, it's going to be like, oh, well, according to what definition, right?
Well, I
And-
guess I mean like you want to have a lot of different partners, right? Do you feel like women should do the same thing? Can there be female pickup artists?
So you're asking my opinion on that specifically? I mean, I think, look, I'm not here to say what someone else should do, right? I'm just here to live my own life, and these are everything that you're hearing from me are just my opinions and thoughts, right? So I'm not here to say if what people should or shouldn't do. I leave that up to them, you know? It's like, what's my business telling someone else what they should do?
So you feel like there could be female pickup artists?
I'm not saying yes or not saying no. It's like, that's not a decision that I can make for someone else. That's a decision that a person can make for their.
But if they made the decision, you'd be like, all right, that's dope.
For me, it's just like, look, if that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you happy, you know? Like,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So you do feel like it's dope.
I'm just open, you know? I'm
There
just,
you go.
yeah, I'm just open.
So growing up, what were some insecurities you feel like you had to battle?
Race in and of itself. I'm mixed, right? I'm half Indian, half Peruvian, and it's like I just always felt like, oh, I don't fit in. I would go to like whatever, like all different areas, and it was like there was no one like me, right? And it's like there's like that whole sense of like, where do I fit in? Where do I get like fit into this whole thing? And just not being able to relate to people to some degree.
I could deal with it. I know about that, yeah.
So that was one for sure. I'd say the others were just a little bit of body type. Like when I was like, I'm a smaller guy, right? Like a smaller sized guy. And as I talked a little bit about, I guess like all Hollywood stuff, it's mostly like just white dudes, like big 6 foot white dudes, like jacked and whatnot. And it's like, where do I fit in again there, right? Like, so a little bit of that. That I think of to the most part, like now I'm like, I really love the way, I really love the way I look, you know, like I've really crafted it. In terms of like the physicality of it, but then also the fashion of it and everything like that. We're staying at the Treasure Island right now, and I joke with people. I'm like, yeah, you found the pirate over here, you know, and we're here to find the treasure. But then to get back to your question in of itself, I'd say the last piece that comes to mind is really just that sense of being able to like, I don't know, like. I think it really comes back to like just fitting in, right? And I think that's something that everyone relates to, right? We all have our own ways of relating to or seeing it, but I think at its core, at its foundation, that's what it was.
Do you watch porn?
I have in the past, yeah.
Do you stop watching porn?
Like, I mean, I'm not watching porn in this moment, right? Like, what do you mean by that?
Do you think that pornography is harmful?
It depends on the user and what they're using it for. I think
What would you use porn for besides masturbating?
entertainment. Porn is entertainment, right? And that's something that's really important to understand. Porn is entertainment. It's not, there's nothing more to it, right? It's adult entertainment. So that's what someone would use it for.
So do you watch porn and just not jack off?
Are you asking like me specifically right now or in
life?
In life, in the past I have, yeah. I mean, I'm a guy. I have no qualms saying anything about that. I think that's one of the things I've learned. It's like nothing in life is black or white. I can't say that this is absolutely always 100% correct and this is absolutely never, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, it's context dependent. That's the best way I can answer that question.
For sure. Where do you draw the line between harassment and pickup?
I think that's simple, right? You just get a sense of like the person, what are they about? I mean, not every person that I talk to on the street is like gonna be wanting to interact with me. It's not to see like, oh, does this girl like me? It's to see, what's this girl about? Like, what does she have to bring to the table? Is she interesting? Does she have something to bring to the table, or is she just kind of dull, you know? And to that degree, it's like a little bit of just figuring out what's going on, what's going on in that head, right? You can't see what's going on in someone's mind. You can't say anything about a person just by looking at them, but you can find all of that out just a little bit through interaction. And most of the time through tonality, how are they talking, what's their body language like, all of these like methods of communication, they speak a lot about a person.
Right,
you know?
and what did you see in her when you first met her on the street?
Yeah, man, last night was just, I saw, like I said, an adventurer, right? It takes a lot of courage to travel across the country solo as a woman and just be like, I'm gonna go out and meet people. I think that is so courageous, but I get that because I've done that myself, right? I've been the guy who's like, I'm just going out, no friends, anything like that, no alcohol, no drugs, no nothing, and just making sure that I figure it out. And that's tough, and that's raw. That's as raw as it gets, right? You don't have there's no crutches to fall back on at that point. And so that's what I was telling her that. I'm like, I really admire that about you, is like that your willingness to like explore, you know, and see what life has to offer, explore the unknown, you know?
What are your favorite things about him?
I like his whole personality, his style. He's very outgoing. He could just really relatable. He has a good vibe. You could just feel like everything is just you could just click easily, and he's very understanding. And he's really intelligent.
Are you a Freemason?
I am, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Illuminati?
What do you define Illuminati? Define it for me.
That's what a Freemason would say. Anyways, man, how much did this course cost for the weekend?
In terms of price, in terms of what I put down for the weekend, are you asking what was my Vegas, what was my budget for Vegas, or, I guess what are you asking?
How much is Vince's sort of weekend boot camp?
Instruction, gotcha.
Yeah.
It depends, right? So at this point it's almost I don't know, it's package, I couldn't really say this exact amount, right? Because it's just so, I don't know, there's so much that's happened in terms of like back and forth, right? So I don't know, I couldn't really give you a straight answer, but I mean, it's what you put into it, right? I think the better way to answer that question really is what are you willing to give, right? More than that's one of the things I've learned the most is how much are you willing to give, and not only in the monetary sense, but how much are you willing to give of yourself to this art, to everything, even this interview, right? How much am I willing to give to you? How much am I willing to be authentic and be real with you? You know, and I'm doing my best to give you as raw and an uncut a version as possible. And that's one of the things I've got a bachelor's in pickup, basically 4 years studying this with Vince now in August, and so that's my college degree and bachelor's in pickup, you know? Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the things about Vince is there's just different things, right? There's different levels to it. If you want to do a weekend thing, it's probably in the hundreds of dollars, for a few days, right? This is what, three day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that was 3 days, right? There's some stuff he does online stuff that's $30 a month. It's just, there's different, and again, I can't speak for his prices because I don't know them, right? They're always things fluctuate. It's you go to get a gallon of gas, right? It's well, how much is a gallon of gas today, right? It's but even by the time this is over, maybe it changes, right? So I can't speak for that, right? Because it's also not my, it's not my business, right? In that sense, right? So I don't want to speak for him, you know?
And what did you learn this weekend?
I got new references of experiences and interactions, you know, of how things could go, new just ways of communicating, for sure, in and of itself. Met this fine little lady over here, right? So new relationships, new friendships, right? Yeah, that's it. You know, just getting out of my shell more, being more comfortable with myself, and reconnecting with that inner child.
My name is Stanley Dunn. I go by Stanislash sometimes. And I'm a Taurus. My birthday was actually a few weeks ago.
Dude, I'm a Taurus too. What's your birthday?
Really? May 9th.
I'm April 23rd.
Oh, my little brother's is April 20th.
Hell yeah.
My favorite baseball team, probably San Diego Padres. And number of makeouts I've had is somewhere around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a big amount, but I'm not sure if I can count them on my hands.
You don't have to count them on your hands. You can just give the ballpark estimate. What would you say?
Enough to satisfy me.
We talking more than 20 or less than 20?
More than 20.
More than 50 or less than 50?
Depends. Probably more.
So we're talking, it seems to me like we're in the 50 to 75 makeout range. Does that sound accurate?
Around, something like that.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I probably had somewhere around, I'm not too sure how many makeouts, but it's a good estimation of around almost 100.
It's pretty good. So what brought you out here to Vegas this weekend, man?
Well, actually right now I'm a student at UCLA, and I just wanted to enjoy myself, you know, and go out there and have fun and build my own self-confidence and full expression of who I am, right, and relate with other people. Because I think that's what this thing is all about, kind of connecting with people on a deeper level, you know. Do
you feel like throughout your life you've had a hard time connecting with people?
I think so, actually. When I was younger, I had a difficult time. I was kind of closed off and kind of shy because my dad was actually super loud and talk to everybody, kind of how Vince is right now. And he kind of told me to not really. He kind of told me to like not speak up and stuff like that for myself. So I kind of like was closed off in my own shell, because my dad, he was like a professional surfer before, and I had like this really high expectation of myself, you know. So in releasing that, I kind of like found who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Is your dad someone you look up to?
Yeah, I think so.
So your dad's like this awesome, like, professional surfer. Like, he's like really like alpha man's man type dude.
Yeah.
And you felt like that was sort of intimidating for you because you are a little bit more shy, is what you're
I
saying?
think so. It kind of like, when I get around people that talk a lot, I kind of get a little in my head, or in the past I have. Yeah.
Right. What's your relationship like with your mom?
It's good. They're both together. My dad actually just, I lived out there last year in Hawaii. I helped my dad build a house, and I lived off-grid. It was pretty fun. It's like no electricity, no running water. It was quite the adventure.
Have you ever been in a relationship before?
Yeah. Kind of in one right now. Yeah.
With who?
It's my neighbor. We're kind of dating.
For sure. Is it exclusive?
It's pretty exclusive, but we're like,
Keep going.
yeah, it's going good, because we're just both at like a good stage in our life where we're open to the possibilities and stuff like that.
So is
Yeah.
your relationship exclusive?
Yes.
So what brings you out here to the Pickup Artist training seminar?
Just to build my own confidence in social situations. Kind of like that tendency I was talking about when other people talk a lot, I kind of like close off or so.
Right.
So I can keep holding a conversation and not like feel weird or awkward or something like that.
I think you're doing pretty good, man.
Yeah. And also attract girls too. Yeah.
How did you get involved in this world?
I got involved in this world. I mean like the pickup artist thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've actually had a long journey. In this pickup artist world.
Whoa. Very seductive. So can you tell me about your journey?
Yeah, to be honest, actually, yeah, it was pretty deep. Like a couple of years ago, I had a little bit of like, I struggled with like pornography addiction and stuff like that. And I was kind of like, I kind of craved that human connection. And I kind of put too much pressure on myself in like fear of rejection and stuff like that. Like if I went up to a girl and she said no, or like didn't, I took it really hard on myself, and it kind of made me not want to go out there and put myself out there. So I kind of made myself even more closed off. And I went through a period of transformation in a way, I think, where I tried to figure out who I was and why I resorted to unhealthy behaviors to fulfill myself. And releasing those unhealthy behaviors, I realized more of who I am. And yeah, just building my own confidence and self-esteem and being able to relate with people on a deeper level, I think, has gotten me far. And yeah, during that time, I used to like smoke a lot of weed and stuff, and I kind of got in trouble with the law, and yeah, I went through
weed?
for weed and just stupid stuff. Yeah, and I was in a really dark place, and yeah, like I ended up quitting smoking weed, and I stopped watching pornography, and I got a job at Starbucks, and I just related with people on like a more human level. And at Starbucks, I had like really good experiences. Like I worked there for 4 years, and I just connected with people, like regular customers. And I got invited to like a motivational speaking event, like for free, and all this like awesome stuff that happened just by being able to relate with people. Yeah.
How many times a day were you watching porn?
I was watching a lot, and yeah, it kind of created a lot of shame and guilt and like remorse in me.
Yeah.
And then I would kind of try to like block that and like forget about it by smoking weed or something, and then it just was like a rabbit hole of like negative behaviors. And yeah.
How do you feel like picking up a bunch of girls on the street is going to make you feel better about yourself?
I think just knowing that I'm capable to connect with people, and yeah, just knowing that I'm okay just how I am, and like I'm pretty got this good style going on, but it's like I have good style within me, you know. It's like what matters, like to feel like confident within, and to like vibe with like girls. I think feels pretty good to like, it's kind of fun in a way, like having these little interactions and kind of like building momentum that kind of not only is about women, it's about like being social in all aspects of your life. Like a couple weeks ago I actually went into a job interview, and I was feeling good. I was like dressed up, like feeling all spiffy, and a little bit before that I was having like conversation with Vince actually about just like one-on-one conversation. He was like telling me like a parroting technique and like little bits and pieces on how to do a good conversation and communicate with people.
Yeah.
And I had an interview that night, and at the interview the guy was like, "Oh, you want to come in tomorrow and work?" And I was like, "Sure." So I just had like this great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like the missionary position has been sort of stigmatized?
Stigmatized?
Like, for example, there's not a lot of representation for the missionary position in pornography. Is that one of the reasons you stopped?
I like it better in real life. The missionary position.
Do you do BDSM from the front?
What do you mean by that?
That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Yes or no? Do you like BDSM from the front?
No.
There it is. Okay. Anything else you want to say to the world?
Yeah, just go out and live your life and have fun. Don't take it too seriously. And yeah. Looking outside, you can tell the struggling sometimes comes from a loss of balance. A loss of balance coming from within. Looking deeper, you can struggle to find that all you've ever wanted to know came from a little piece of what you've always wanted to sin. For what you wanted to know is only a part of what you will blossom into as you grow. As you grow into your highest self.
You get more hoes and you get more wealth.
That's right.
Homeboy. For the fucking win.
That's right.